Hey, what's up everybody? Smooth Terrorist here once again, and this is a video response to Coctopus Prime. I love saying your fucking name. I'm gonna say it again just because I like it. Coctopus fucking Prime. And his video, Bigots supporting Chick-fil-A, parentheses, rant. You know, Coctopus, I like you, buddy. I think you're an alright guy, but I'm not going to mince words, because that's not what I'm about. I gotta be honest. I see you as an authoritarian. I see you as a pretty authoritarian guy. And I know that you probably don't see yourself that way. You probably think that you're, well, you know, as the name would suggest, liberal. It's funny how all the terms of political discourse have been bent so far beyond recognition in the United States that they don't have anything to do with their original meaning anymore. You know, there's a quote that I like to bring up a lot, Coctopus Prime, by the late Joey Ramone, because he once said, "The Democrats want to take away my guns, and the Republicans want to take away my porno mags, and I'm not willing to part with either one." You know, maybe kind of a simplistic statement, but it illustrates the point that I'm always trying to get home to people, which is that most everybody in America has half of the picture right when it comes to civil liberties and when it comes to individual freedom. Everybody's got half the picture right, and that's why you're able to have these incredible hypocrisies, like an old black guy who remembers the civil rights movement, and he's over here trying to take away the civil rights of homosexuals. That's why you've got hypocrisy like that, because of this cognitive defect that's so common in the United States. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the people, because this is caused by media propaganda. I mean, they've got all you motherfuckers brainwashed real good. They got you guys brainwashed lovely. Lovely. And none of you see it. You don't realize it. It's just a big Punch and Judy fight between the quote-unquote right wing and the quote-unquote left wing. It's just this big good cop, bad cop, fucking fake fight. It's a puppet show, and it's got all you guys completely fucking snookered. And it would be funny if it wasn't so sad, because this is our lives. This is how they're taking our fucking freedom away and making us miserable. So I can't laugh, even though I'm tempted to. I just can't laugh. I can't find it funny. Now, as a guy who has half of the freedom picture right, I can probably make some assumptions about you, and I can be pretty confident that they're going to be correct assumptions. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I can take a shot in the dark. I bet that you probably support gay rights. Well, we know that you do from this video. I bet that you probably support the rights of ethnic minorities and the rights for immigrants. Yep, we know that, because you're a liberal. But let's see, what kind of rights do you probably not support? You probably don't support the right of self-defense, aka gun rights. You probably don't support religious rights, religious freedom. In fact, you had that really infuriating Orwellian double-speak ass statement at the end of your video where you said, "I want freedom from religious freedom." That could have come right out of fucking George Orwell, man. That's you saying that was every bit as fucked up as that black civil rights guy talking about how, you know, his battle to take away the rights of marriage for gay people is like a civil rights thing. You saying that I want freedom from religious freedom, that was every bit as fucked up. And the worst thing is, I'm sure you don't recognize it. I'm sure you don't see that. I'm sure you're blind to it. And maybe this video will open your eyes. I can hope. Probably not. Probably your fans are going to come over here and be like, "My cock was there," and point another gun at your head or some stupid shit. But I try. I mean, I do what I can. I'm just one man. So here's the point of this video. Yeah, the video does have a point, Octopus Prime. It's not just me giving my my spiel. This Chick-fil-A issue, I live in New Orleans, so as you can imagine, I'm right on the front line of this one. I can't drive 5 miles down the fucking street without passing 2 or 3 of those goddamn Chick-fil-A's, and I never ate there even before this whole brouhaha started. Just like yourself, I mean, it's fast food. Like, come on, I have more self-respect than that. But you know, it's going to be hard to articulate what I want to say here. I'm not saying that anybody who cares about gay rights should just say, ah, fuck it, whatever, I'm hungry, and go eat at a Chick-fil-A anyway, even though they know where the money's going, even though they know that the money is going to end up in the pockets of lobbyists that are defending marriage and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, you know, to just disregard your principles and grab a bite when you're hungry. I'm not saying that. But what I do want to say is that I see this issue, I see this Chick-fil-A issue as just the latest in a long line of the rise of conscious consumerism. And I fucking hate conscious consumerism, Octopus Prime. I fucking hate it with a passion, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. You know, I've said before in my videos that I think when you step back, you know, out of the little picture that we get here in the United States, when you step back and look globally at the big picture, what I see happening is I see national sovereignty becoming less and less important. You know, we got shit like the United Nations where it's all these countries coming together and making decisions. So no single one of them has like their sovereignty respected. It's the choices have been sublimated to this larger group, right? And you can kind of see the same thing with these alliances like NATO, these economic alliances like the European Union. And what you see more and more is that the whole idea of national identity itself, the idea of national sovereignty, is just becoming obsolete. It's a thing of the past. And what's replacing it is voting with your dollar. What's replacing it is conscious consumerism. Because big multinational corporations, they are the countries of the future. That's what's happened. Like, your tribe is no longer your country. Your tribe is your company. And the symbol of your tribe is no longer a flag with stars or stripes or an eagle on it or whatever the fuck. The symbol is your corporate logo. That's your tribe now. That's the direction that we're headed in. And you can there's ways that you can notice this happening. For example, look at how low the voter turnouts are in the United States. Nobody's going to the polls. People are abstaining in mass numbers from the polls. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that Americans are becoming anarchists like me who don't believe in democracy anymore? No, I kind of fucking doubt that. What it means is that they're getting their sense of self-actualization and political efficacy from somewhere else. They're getting it from the, you know, it's kind of like if you're in a relationship with somebody and they stop fucking you, then you know they're getting their sex from somewhere else. Same type of thing. If people aren't getting their sense of self-actualization from polls, they're getting it from somewhere else. And I'll tell you where they're getting it from. They're getting it from this conscious consumerism. All the decisions that we make these days seem to be rooted in this. It's like, I'll be driving down the street, right? And I see that my gas gauge is getting towards empty. Well, shit, I just passed an Exxon right there, and there's a Texaco. But no, I can't gas up at either one of those because Exxon is funding the phony scientists, the phony climate scientists that are trying to confuse the climate science issue in the United States. So, oh, but there's a Citgo right there, and Citgo is owned by the Venezuelan National Oil Company, so if I gas up there, then I'm supporting the global democracy movement in South America. And then, like, let's say my shoes are worn out, and I need to go to the mall and get a new pair of kicks. Well, I can't buy these Nikes right here because then I'm supporting sweatshop labor. But oh, these timberlands over here. Well, the timberlands are environmentally friendly production. They minimize their carbon footprint, and they treat their workers with good labor rights at the timberland factory. And then after that, I'm making all these decisions about my gas and my shoes. Now I'm kind of hungry. I got to grab a bite to eat. But fuck, I can't go to the Chick-fil-A right there because then I'm basically punching a gay guy in the face by eating a chicken sandwich, aren't I? I mean, I'm a Nazi if I eat that fucking chicken sandwich. So I'm going to have to go over here to Subway and you get the point. It's getting to the point where none of our consumer decisions are really going to be about the products anymore. It's about supporting the company that you feel represents your interests, your political ideology. And that's a losing game for many reasons because, number one, it's too easy to manage perceptions. It's for example, if we want to take the issue of environmentalism, there's something called greenwashing, where companies will just spend a lot of money on PR firms and consulting to make people think that they're environmental when they're really fucking not. And it works. I mean, they'll get your dollars. They will get a hippie environmentalist dollars by doing that. But that's not the biggest problem that I have with conscious consumerism, Coctopus Prime. The biggest problem that I have with it is that the more free-minded you get, the more in favor you are of civil rights and liberty, the less motherfucking money you've got, Coctopus Prime. I mean, look at my shit. Look at this shit right here. My shit's wore out. Man, look at these kicks, man. This shit's so old, the heel's in the fucking front. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, I mean, if you live by your ideals, if you're not just full of hot air and you care about your principles, well, if it's freedom that you believe in, if it's civil liberties, civil rights, individual fucking liberty that you believe in, then you have to accept money is slavery. It doesn't matter what the political system is. It doesn't matter what the economic system is. It doesn't matter if it's communist-leaning or capitalist-leaning. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit more left-wing or if it's a little bit more right-wing. If there's money, it's slavery. That's going to be a hard hurdle for the human species to move past, because we're all so addicted to this idea of money and keeping a score on people's value. It's going to be a hard one to move past. But the point is, Coctopus Prime, a guy like me, who not only cares about gay rights, who not only cares about rights for ethnic minorities, but also cares about religious freedom, and also cares about self-defense rights and all the right-wing rights. A guy like me, I'm outvoted, motherfucker. You guys have more dollars than I do, and hence you have more votes. But, why should you care about my problems? Well, I don't expect you to, but let me tell you why you should care, Coctopus Prime. Because even if you want to dumb this down, even if you want to dumb the level of the discourse in this video down to the traditional propaganda, false dichotomy, left-wing, right-wing split, and there's nothing outside that in the political spectrum, it's just you're either a Democrat or you're a Republican or you're a Ron Paul guy, and that's it. There's nothing else. That's the whole political spectrum, right? Anything beyond that, you're just a fringe kook. Even if you believe in that, even if you want to take it down to that level, the right-wingers have got you guys beat. economically. They've got you beat. You can boycott Chick-fil-A all you want. They don't need your business. Because the right-wingers are going to keep that chain going. They've got more than enough money to not only keep that chain going, but actually grow their profits. And I bet that happened. I bet that Chick-fil-A is going to have a very impressive showing at the end of this financial quarter. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter. I'm not quite sure how to articulate what it is that I'm trying to get across in this video, Coctopus Prime. But I just, I'm glad that people are becoming more politically aware. I'm glad that people are thinking about where their dollar goes after they spend it at the register. They're not just like, oh, I need a new pair of kicks. Or motherfucker needs a chicken sandwich. I'm hungry, right? Who cares where the money's going? I like that people are thinking about that, but I don't think that conscious consumerism is a good thing, nevertheless. Because it's conscious, but it's consumerism. But it's conscious. I mean, it is conscious, yeah. But it's consumerism. Anyway, let me know what you think, Coctopus Prime. This has been The Smooth Terrorist, and if you enjoyed this video, then download it, re-upload it, mirror it, parody it, and make it your own, because the conscious consumers at Google cannot censor me unless you let them. Keep it smooth.